Welcome to Baking with Nadia. Today we're going to make a Black Forest cake. And a Black Forest cake is a chocolate cake that has fresh whipping cream and black cherries inside. And we're going to make a 3-layer cake. Some of the ingredients we're going to use are the chocolate cake. And please refer to my other video on how to make chocolate cake without oil, butter, or dairy. We're also going to be using black cherries. These are pitted dark sweet cherries, which are here, and we will cut them in half and put them in the layers of the cake. We will also use these red maraschino cherries to decorate the top of the cake with, and we will have our sugar water for the cake, and some of our equipment are here. We've got an 8-inch cardboard, a 10-inch cardboard, a doily, our pastry brush, our spatulas, a pastry bag, and the pastry heads, and a small red spatula to use. So we're ready to begin. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by cutting the top layer of this cake off. And I know it sort of looks funny with it being bubbly, but don't worry about it. That's just how it bakes and it looks. But we're not going to use it. So we're just going to cut off a thin layer of that. And this may stick to your serrated knife, so you can use something to clean it with. Or you can even use your fingers to peel off the top layer. Sometimes it comes off easily just by using your fingers. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn the cake over, and we're going to peel off the parchment paper that was on the bottom. And this cake is very spongy and very moist. I can just tap it and I can hear the sponginess on it. And you can also tap it on the top and hear it. So we're going to cut this into 3 layers. We're going to first start with the top and then move down from there. And you can just eye it out to try to get about 3 layers with each cake. Okay, so here's our first layer. And then we'll do our second and third layer. Okay, and here is our second layer. And our final layer. We're going to go ahead and put a cardboard 8-inch round underneath this cake so it's easier to work with. The next thing we're going to do is put the sugar water on the layers of the cake. And I've prepared this sugar water ahead of time. And it's about 250 ml of water with 10 ounces of sugar. And you bring that to a boil and let it cool, and then you can use it. Okay, we're going to also use the dark cherries, dark sweet cherries to put inside of the cake with the whipping cream. And you can do it as whole if you like. I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half and put them in 2 layers of the cake. So you can just go ahead and cut them in half ahead of time to prepare it. Or if you want to just put them in 1 layer as a whole cherry, you can. Okay, we finished putting the sugar water on the cake. And now we're going to apply our fresh whipping cream that looks like this to our cake. And please refer to my video on how to make fresh whipping cream. And now we can apply it to the cake. We'll just scoop it up and put it in our pastry bag. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply the whipping cream. And I've gone ahead and put the whipping cream back in the refrigerator so it stays cool and it can stay firm. You can also use a spatula to put the whipped cream on the cake. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our cherries on the whipping cream. And do that. And we'll use half of the cherries for one layer and half of the cherries for the second layer. Oops. Okay, after we finish putting a layer of cherries on top of the whipped cream, we're going to add a little bit more of whipped cream to the top of the cherries. Just a thin layer. Okay, we're going to take the second layer of cake and put it gently on top of our whipping cream and cherries, and gently press down on the cake to compress it just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to put our second layer of sugar water on top of the cake. Okay, let's go ahead and put the whipping cream on the second cake layer. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put the second layer of cherries on our cake. This is going to be an amazingly tasty cake. Okay, let's go ahead and put some whipped cream on top of the cherry layer. Just a thin layer, not as thick as the first one. Okay, we're going to put the final layer on top. And we're just going to compress the cake a little bit by pressing down with the palms of our hand. Okay. So we're just going to use this spatula to smooth the sides of the cake. And we're going to get a jug of water to help us decorate and smooth the cake with the whipped cream. Okay, this is our final layer of sugar water on the top layer of the cake. Okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put the final layer of whipped cream on top of our cake. We're going to also apply the whipping cream to the sides of the cake, and just start from the bottom and move upward. Okay, here's our hot water in a jug, and we put our spatula in the hot water and shake it out a little bit. This is going to help smooth the cake evenly for us. So I'm going to start with the sides and do this. And you'll have extra whipped cream that'll come off. And then I will dip it into the hot water again. And you can also use a triangular jagged edge metal that will give it a little bit of a design if you want, or you can just keep it nice and smooth like this. Okay, I'm going to use a little larger spatula now to go ahead and smooth the top, and it looks like this basically. And if you have little gaps, you can also take your pastry bag and fill the little gaps with whipped cream and smooth it out again. Okay, we're going to go ahead and decorate the top now. And you can use whatever type of head you want. I'm just going to use this sort of flowery type of head. Okay, so that's the top. We're going to now go ahead and take our 10-inch cardboard. We're going to put a little bit of sugar water on top, like this. And we're going to put our doily on top of it like that. And then transfer the cake onto the 10-inch cardboard. We just want to get it centered. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the cake and put it back on our cake stand and decorate the bottom of the cake. And I'm using a smaller head for that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our shaved chocolate in the center of the cake on top here. You can use a fork to gently pour it. And you can put as much chocolate as you'd like. And then we're going to go ahead and decorate the top also with the maraschino cherries. Our Black Forest cake is ready. If you'd like, you can take some powdered sugar and sprinkle it over the chocolate. Otherwise, our cake looks beautiful. It's going to taste absolutely amazing. It's moist, it's delicious. The cake has no oil or butter in it, dairy-free, the cake itself. And it's fresh whipping cream and black cherries. Enjoy.